Martian Revelator.
Saying is correct. But that it
Martian Revelation.
UFO Diaries.
Mysterious pictures.
has remarkable and long-range implications in many areas, not the least of which is implications for the UFO field.
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
As many of you may know, and those that do not are about to, Enterprise does not do UFOs.
UFO Diaries.
And that's a long story, and I won't bore you with the reasons. I will give you the bottom line. Because UFOs,
UFO Diaries.
and I didn't mean this as a pun, but UFOs don't stand still. We either have to try to interpret moving points of light or objects
Of intelligence.
or personal accounts of interactions with whoever is manning or piloting these
UFO Diaries.
vehicles.
Of intelligence.
Or, much worse, we have to depend on the government
Richard Hoagland, a member of our team of intelligence.
to tell us the truth. We have about as much chance of that as, well, fill in the blank. So what I focused on, and what this
Martian Revelation.
UFO Diaries.
investigation is focused on for the last
4 years.
has been something that does stand still, i.e. the ruins.
Of intelligence.
The ruins
Of intelligence.
that are out there. Ruins that
Of intelligence.
we have now discovered on Mars,
UFO Diaries. In the region designated as Cydonia.
In the Masonic Lodge.
on some of the satellites
Of intelligence.
of the outer solar system.
In the region designated as Cydonia.
Sunset.
We even have one bizarre
UFO Diaries.
Face on Mars. Mysterious pictures.
called,
Perhaps the most intriguing being
we did an analysis of it, published on
Martian Revelation.
Mysterious pictures.
a year or so ago, which showed amazing features indicative of intelligent design.
But is it not still possible that these intriguing shapes are really nothing more than accidents of nature? That the researchers who study them are simply letting their imaginations run wild? Many intriguing questions are raised by the apparent connections between this image from the planet Mars and ancient structures here on Earth. Perhaps the most intriguing being, does this image on the surface of another UFO Diaries planet give us important clues to the origins of ancient structures on our world?
And what this has created in our minds is a kind of a backdrop to the UFO
Diaries.
investigations.
The planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world counting out from the sun. Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
Was this UFO Diaries, Cydonia,
Sunset.
undeniable proof that an intelligent race had once lived on the planet Mars? UFO Diaries, in the region designated as Cydonia.
This would be really, really remarkable for this to be a natural formation.
In the Masonic Lodge.
Since the time of that discovery,
2006.
UFO Diaries, science writer and consultant Richard Hoagland has worked tirelessly to discover the whole truth about the mysterious UFO Diaries, Cydonia region of Mars.
Because as I was telling Steve Bassett earlier this afternoon, context is everything.
EnterpriseMission.com.
Brother!
And if you don't understand
UFO Diaries, Cydonia,
Sunset.
the context of what is currently going on,
in the region designated as Cydonia,
Sunset.
the things people are seeing,
of intelligence,
things they're reporting,
UFO Diaries.
Face on Mars. Mysterious pictures. In the Masonic Lodge.
the events that,
The Martian Revelator.
have been telling us about for
For the last 4 years. 2006. 2010.
the average people,
EnterpriseMission.com.
Conference.
experts, military, non-military. I mean, the list of
UFO Diaries,
witnesses across
Martian Revelation.
UFO Diaries,
Mysterious pictures.
Some extraordinary code.
of intelligence,
If you don't understand the
UFO Diaries, Cydonia,
Sunset.
solar system context
of intelligence,
for those sightings,
of intelligence,
for those
Face on Mars.
observations, for that
UFO Diaries,
eyewitness testimony,
of intelligence,
then you will never get to the bottom of this
extraordinary code
of intelligence, extraordinarily important and history-changing field.
The planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world counting out from the sun. Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
We got them from Hoagland, we got them from NASA, and there you are. I mean, one of them's going to say, yeah, those are ours.
Which are our pictures.
The fascination of the faces on Mars for me, and my fascination with Richard Hoagland, who's been the big mover and shaker in all of that.
And the death of
Richard Hoagland,
a member of our team of intelligence, my
Martian revelation.
mentor, and friend, and colleague, and someone that I
the Martian Revelator.
was incredibly lucky to have worked with all those many years ago, because it
Chuck Sallier.
Lee Shackelford.
gave
The Martian Revelator.
background in how to interpret information of intelligence and data that is pretty important about sourcing more than one source. And
Think about this. Think about it. Scientists require usually 3 sources.
let's spend not, if we can, on government sources.
My day starts at 3:30 in the morning, and I'm never tired of it. To this day, I get up at 3:30 every morning, and obviously I'm still talking to you this minute at night.
I was not involved with the production of Cydonia really at all, so by the time I finally saw that one on tape, it was just unrecognizable. And I can only imagine, this is sort of, the part that I'm not really proud of, that the rest of the production crew around there was just scrambling to try to put the show together, because what little help I'd been in getting this thing along, I just wasn't there for. So I'm looking at a screen grab here, one of the Face on Mars
Monster.
mysterious pictures that you sent me by email.
Right.
And that's one of the scenes that I think that I scripted, but I remember that when they finally did it in production, you can tell watching it, they're largely improvising that dialogue. They've got the gist of what was supposed to be in the script, but
improvising the dialogue, huh?
Some extraordinary code
Of intelligence.
but you're right. It's not the same picture.
Exactly.
And I cannot explain that. Mrs. Pedersen here sitting at the desk looking at these Mrs. Pedersen here sitting at the desk looking at these Face on Mars
Monster.
mysterious pictures, photographs, and trying to say, what if,
Yes.
And those are quotes that were written to be said by Dr. Hoagland, and those are quotes that were written to be said by Dr. Hoagland, and those are quotes that were written to be said by Dr. Hoagland, and, without our voice of authority there.
American authorities are sabotaging efforts to discover the truth.
They had to invent a character who's guessing.
Right.
They had to invent a character who's guessing.
Right.
System initialized.
What a mess.
Well, I'm suspicious.
All that she had was things that I had gotten from Dr. Hoagland's books
Of intelligence.
that I had tried to organize into some kind of a dramatic form in the script.
some extraordinary code
Of intelligence.
All right.
And they're just winging it.
Okay, now here's the thing. What you got from Richard Hoagland's books?
Right.
Accessing data. Accessing data. Accessing data.
Now, what about that picture she's holding? That did not come from Richard Hoagland.
Really?
Really? Hey, look at it closely, my friend.
I mean,
that picture she's holding. That did not come from Richard Hoagland.
Really?
well, I know it goes back a long way, but I don't know where that came from. Richard does not know where that came from. No one knows where that came from.
That's why the episode that you see is the way it is, because suddenly there was this script
Of intelligence.
with these big holes in it.
The surface of Mars, we now know, is covered with meteor craters.
All these things that Dr. Hoagland
Dickhead
was supposed to say.
in the region designated as Cydonia.
So now the guys at the studio in a Masonic lodge, we're now scrambling to try to find ways to cover the same material just so the show would cut together, just so the things that had already been shot would connect to each other.
All of that took place about
4 years
ago. And it was in the throes of all that, of intelligence, that I began looking at some images that showed some really amazing and astonishing things. Of intelligence. And those images are what I'm going to show you this evening.